Welcome back, Alpha Hunters. Hope everybody is having a very wonderful Hump Day Wednesday. Okay, seeing some pretty good action on the market today. Nice little bullish action. Nice gap up here on the SPY to start the day. And there you go, up roughly about 0.5% on the gap up there. Nice little pullback consolidation there in the first 30 minutes. Nice little push higher there to end out the first hour. But we haven't really done much since. Kind of been mostly sideways, kind of up at the highs of the days here over the past 30 minutes. So there you go. That's how the SPY is looking. And Qs, not too much indifferent, I guess. Quite a bit of a gap up here on the Qs. Take a look at some things a little bit later. Qs did gap up roughly 0.2%. Nice little pullback consolidation there to start the day, the first 30 minutes. Second 30 minutes, push higher, sideways. Basically since then, not really doing a whole lot. IWM, yeah, look at this start to the day. Nice gap up. We gapped up about 0.25% almost, and then traded down there the first 30 minutes. So we went from 0.25% gap up to roughly down 0.75%. So about a 1% move there from on the open to the low there in the first 30 minutes. But yeah, I mean, you can see we haven't really made a new high yet. Kind of squeaked one out there, I guess, about 30 minutes ago. Barely over the initial starting 5 minutes there. But other than that, I mean, we did come back. We bounced pretty good there in the second 30 minutes. Kind of based out, pushed higher here over the past hour, back up to the daily highs. Looking pretty good. Maybe we continue higher as we go into the rest of the day. DIA, nice gap up here. Not as much of kind of a consolidation pullback. We kind of started out trying to be bullish, but that third 5 minute candle, nice little drop there, but then consolidated, pushed higher. So it wasn't as structured, I guess, as the Qs and SPY were. But nice sideways action here. For the past couple hours. A little bit of a higher push there about in the past hour up to the daily high, but we haven't really moved too much over the past couple of hours. RSP kind of looks like the IWM, nice little higher open, very quick sell-off. Didn't get as negative, kind of more just barely got negative and then kind of consolidated and pushed higher there in that first hour. Then kind of just based out over the past couple hours, pushed higher up to the daily highs here over the past hour. There you go. That's how the RSP is looking on the intraday. This looks pretty good here, though, on the daily. The RSP looks really good. Kind of mentioned it over the past couple of days. I was like, man, this looks like it wants to roll over because it wasn't holding breakouts. It wasn't breaking down yet. Kind of mentioned that over the past couple of days. Really, yesterday, as we kind of wrapped up Monday, Tuesday. Wasn't breaking that 20 EMA. Today's gap up, retesting the 10 EMA looks very good to push higher. So I would expect follow through bullishly here over the next few trading days. That's probably going to be dependent on how we close today. If we sell off and come back down to some of the lower levels, maybe down to like 158 level to the lower ends of the day, maybe not. But if it stays up where it is now, when we close up in those levels, yeah, I would say we're probably just going to push higher here for the next couple of trading sessions. That looks pretty good. DIA, Dow Jones Industrial Average. All right. Also, with the gap up, doing pretty good here. I have no idea why the market gapped up, by the way. Try to figure that out, but looking pretty good. Nice gap up, continuing higher. Hasn't really broken that 10 EMA in a little bit. All right, there you go. IWM. Still kind of getting compressed in here in between the 10, 20, and the 50. Yeah, that's really it. Nice little lower wick today coming in. Looks like it would be primed to break out above, but it also needs to break above the 10 and 20. So I would say if it breaks above the 10 and 20, maybe you take that for a trade back up to the highs that we put in over the past 2 weeks. At least. Makes sense to me. Probably run a stop back below maybe February the 5th. Something like that. Might not be a full, 2-to-1 type of trade, but I mean, that's kind of the way I would look to do it. I think because it looks like this would probably, if it broke the 10 and 20, you're probably going to get a pretty good flush higher. People are going to jump on board. You see you crossing the 10 and 20, that kind of thing. So, yeah, IWM kind of doesn't look too bad here with that huge lower wick today, but it still hasn't broken that 10 and 20. That's what I'm saying. Like, once it breaks the 10 and 20, moving averages, bullish, then you could probably look to take that. I would be aggressive on hopping in on that too. The Qs, I mean, just continues to push higher. Nothing that you can do. Just like if you're in it, you're probably in a very few and select names. There's only a few names that are just kind of continuing to just absolutely grind higher at the pace of which, I mean, just holding up the market. But yeah, the Q's looking pretty good today. Up over 1%, my man. 1% higher. Nice. Gapping above basically yesterday, all the previous daily highs up into the all-time high area. So it's looking pretty good. SPY also gapped above all the previous highs, or basically right at the high that we had on Friday. Yeah, I mean, right there. So, yep, looking pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if we just continue higher. I mean, that's the way bubbles kind of happen. Bubbles kind of work. They just kind of keep going until they don't. So, who knows when it stops? I just know it will. All right. So, one thing I want to briefly go over, just kind of talk about, is opportunities in the marketplace. There are easy opportunities and there are pigs with makeup on opportunities. Okay. One of those, I believe, is NVDA. Okay. I think we all kind of know the state of where NVIDIA is right now over the past year and what it's done. I'm not saying NVIDIA, the company is bad. And understand, when you talk about the stock price, many times you're not talking about the company itself. The company itself is fantastic. I love the products that they do, but the equity side has gotten a little too far ahead of itself. And this is where, if you want to be a bullish investor in NVIDIA, what I want you to do is ask yourself, what is more likely? Are we going to see NVIDIA go to 1,500? Or not 1,500, I'm sorry. Is it going to double in price? Is basically what I'm asking. Are we going to see NVIDIA go from 700 to 1,400, which would be all the way up here, right? 1,400. That's what I would like for you to really honestly ask yourself. If you are wanting to buy this, is that likely? I mean, it's already had one hell of a run over the past year. And the other stock that I would compare this to is BABA. BABA. Look at how this has performed over the past year. It's down hugely. And what would be the chances of this doubling? Well, here's the thing. Is if this were to double, let's say it goes from 75 to, what would that be, 150? If I can do some simple math. So yeah, it'd be 150. I mean, it was last there about 2 years ago. It has great, cash flow. So I don't see why this couldn't be at a great opportunity to be buying. It's been growing over the past couple of quarters on earnings. Revenues grew this past quarter. Looked like they were pretty good. So that's the only thing I want to kind of bring up is like there's opportunities out there. Some of them grab attention, the headlines. Some are a lot easier to find, and they're a lot easier to probably work out in the future. Because once people start to pile in to names, some of these Chinese names that have just been beaten down, which, why they've been beaten down so much, who knows? But once people start to buy in, pile in, it just becomes that much harder to get that double out of the stock price, right? Once you go to $80, then you got to get it to 160. Once you get to 90, then you got to get it to 180 to get a double out of it. That's why you want to be buying things on the cheap. Does NVDA go to $100? I'm sorry, not 100, $1,000 a share. I mean, it's very possible. Does it make it to 1,500 or 1,400? I mean, sure. I wouldn't. I mean, you're also not one that's probably going to hold through that entire thing. That would be the other. That's probably the other thing. I would much rather be an investor in BABA because I could hold this all the way to 150 easily. NVIDIA, there's no way. There could be some people that probably hold it, but they'll also hold it all the way down on the loss as well. Okay, so anyways, BABA, not a bad opportunity. There's also Baidu out there. Baidu, sitting around 100. Can it make it to 200? Yeah, I mean it did. It was there 2.5 years ago. And this thing traded all the way down to mid 70s back a year and a half ago. So, not bad opportunities out there. There's not bad opportunities out there, and just take it for what it's worth. Like there's some good stuff, and there's some stuff that you're just like, yeah. I mean, it might run for a little bit, but I wouldn't trust it to double in value. Compared to some other things out there. Let's take a look at the VIX. How's the VIX performing today? All right, put the A back on there. Let's see. VIX is not doing a whole lot. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it's down. You'd expect it to be down. We're having a pretty good bullish day, but it's not down a lot. Okay. All right, dollar. Very subtle pullback again today. Might just pull back into the upper ends of these wicks that we did put in for that half a month of consolidation. And then push higher with the 10 EMA. That's basically going to come up and support it here in the next day or two. Okay. GLD. Nice upper wick there on the GLD. Kind of flat, not doing a whole lot. Dollar's not doing a whole lot. GLD's not doing a whole lot. All right. I guess it kind of makes some sense. 10-year yield bounced off the 10 EMA today, kind of right on top of that 50 EMA. Nice little doji action. What does it look intraday? So we got a pretty good drop off here to start the day. Okay, right as the equity market started, there was a little bit of a drop there. So I'll be curious to see how this performs here the next 2 days. Yields and dollar. Kind of mentioned that yesterday. I'm really going to be interested to see how yields and dollar perform the rest of the week. Because we had a very strong Friday, Monday on both of them. And a little bit of a pullback yesterday and today. So if this is just a pullback into the moving averages, kind of finding some support from a very strong move from Friday, Monday. And now we continue higher to finish out this week, which kind of looks like it might be that. Oof. I like it. 10 to inversion. Not really doing a whole lot. Okay, so the yields are kind of moving all together today. HYG bouncing up a little bit. Makes it seeing a little bit of bearishness on the yields. On top of the 10-20 daily moving average. Not really too much kind of going on there. LQD kind of getting stuck in between some of these moving averages here, between the 10-20 and the 50. So people are liking the HYG right now a little bit more than the LQD. What about the TLT? TLT also negative today with the LQD. Throwing a little bit of an upper wick up to the 10 daily moving average. Having a hard time really holding over these moving averages in here. Yeah, if we see those yields and dollar push higher here the Thursday, Friday, and we see TLT drop off and get under this little low here, I mean, that opens up a new little bear market, or a bearish move that we could see here on the TLT. I mean, LQD is pretty close to breaking this support line as well, and also that 50 EMA. So, yeah, that'd be interesting to see if that happens. We'll see. Sector performance. We got discretionaries are the biggest outperformer on the day. Tech also outperformed pretty good. Makes sense. Qs are outpacing everything else. Okay. Industrials kind of in line with the market there. Financials underperforming. Materials, communications, real estate, healthcare, Utilities, energies, and staples all underperforming there. Okay, intraday. What's worked intraday? What hasn't worked intraday? Energies have really got hit to start the day there. So energy is underperforming, staples underperforming, materials, utilities, communications, healthcare underperforming there, kind of a bunch there. Industrials also underperforming. Financials kind of in line with the market. Real estate kind of in line with the market there. Tech and discretionaries outperforming the best on the intraday time frame.